What's up guys, Hayden here bringing you another tutorial, and right off the bat I'd like to say why we couldn't upload, Jane and I. Sunday, which was my upload time obviously, I did make a tutorial but I forgot to turn audio on, so I basically made a tutorial with no audio, and it was late at night, so I just decided, screw it, I won't do it. And Wednesday, Jadeon, chemicals in his house spill, so it wasn't safe to be in his house, so that's why he couldn't upload for the past couple weeks, was because of that reason, which it should be fixed soon. He might be able to upload Wednesday, hopefully. And then Friday, I wasn't home, so I couldn't make it, and same for Jane, so sorry about all that. And I want to make a special tutorial for not uploading, and this will be a start to finish series. Now, this will show you everything I do in Cinema 4D and Photoshop, like all my filters, my color corrections, my text, my renders, everything. So let's get started. So I'm just gonna make a motext like this. So you have your motext. I have it on my Lightroom, that's why it's tilted. I'm just gonna bring it back to make it fit this. I'm just gonna curve it so then the Lightroom is like the light is facing this way, so it'll make a nice looking angle with good shadows and all that. So I'm just gonna kind of do it like this, there. So I'm obviously just gonna delete this and change this to Zebs because that's my name, like that. So you got your text, good, and I'm just gonna make this a little smaller, so about this size. And I don't like this font, so I'm gonna change it. Oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna change the font to Typograph Pro. You can download this font at dafont.com. This is a very good font. I really like this font. It's a really good font. It's good for like 3D text, 2D text, pretty much anything, if you ask me. So I'm just gonna change the depth to 50, which is a good thickness. And then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go to caps, change start to fillet cap. Now, as you can see, it looks really bad, if you just do a fillet cap. So we're gonna change the steps and radius to 2 on both of these. So now it has like a nice look to it. See, if I pre-render it out, you'll see it has nice curves, good shadowing, all that. Not such a sharp edge. Like as you can see, it's curvy on the edges and it's not so sharp. So that's a really good look. And next, what I like to do is I like to find a nice grungy material. I usually like to use Latem, put that on there. Now, as you can see, the texture is all on the side and it's all spread out and does not look good. So if I render it, it's not going to look like the actual texture itself, or the material I should say. Actually, that's going to take too long, but it's not going to look good. It's not even going to look like the material down here. So to fix that, go to projection, this UVW mapping, set that to cubic, and as you can see, you can already tell the texture is going to be there. But if you want to make it look even better, check seamless. Now this will make it, like for example, if you have a small texture, like a small dimension of the texture, it's going to look really boxy if I don't have seamless checked, and there's going to be like lines through the text. And to fix that, all you got to do is check seamless. So now we have this nice looking material. It's a nice grungy material. And what I like to do is, as you can see, it's really boring. It's just everything's lined up together. It's really just not looking good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down even more, so it's like this. And I'm going to click C on my keyboard once I select this motext, so C. And as you can see, it's going to break it up so I can edit these individually now. So I'm just going to edit these around to make it look kind of randomized. So I'm just going to kind of make it like this, that, maybe like that possibly, and then just rotate it. I mean, this is really random. It's really up to you. It's a nice effect. And then I might just kind of rotate this one to the right a little. Yeah. So this makes a nice looking effect. I really like it a lot. I'm actually going to bring this one down a little so it fits all the others, so maybe like this. So we have this. Actually, I'm gonna bring it down. This tutorial is gonna have everything that, like, if I don't like something, I'm gonna delete it and try something else. This tutorial is probably gonna be pretty long, so like 30 minutes, so just to let you know. So now that I have a nice looking position, I'm just gonna duplicate this, and I'm gonna use Nitroblast. It's a plugin, you can buy it, it's like $30, $20 or $30, something like that. And once you have Nitroblast installed, I did make a tutorial on how to install it. So once you have it installed, here's Nitroblast. Go to Nitroblast main with your duplicated motex. Select that, just click that. And I'm gonna set the quality to high or extreme depending on your computer. For the sake of recording, I'm just gonna set it to high. And the pieces, I like to set it to 156. This is a good piece area because the less pieces you set, like for example, if I set 20, they're gonna be really big pieces. But if I set like 400, it's gonna be tons and tons of little pieces. So I like to have it in the middle. So I'm gonna set to 156. Now this averages like average size pieces, but it's not too small, but it's not too big. So I'm just gonna click fracture here. Oh, hold on, my bad. Open this up and select all of these. These are the things that'll break up. So just have all these, click fracture, and it's gonna start fracturing down here on the bottom left of your screen. As you can see, it's gonna start breaking, and you'll also see like blue coming upon your text, which is the breaking. Like it's the default material, so you know it's breaking. And it's almost done down here. It's at 90%. There we go. It's finished. So with this, just for a better organization, I'm just gonna select all these Nitroblasts and put it outside the motext. So we have our Nitroblast, our broken up text, and our original. So obviously we don't want to use these two materials. So I'm just gonna select a lava for the yellow, because the yellow indicates that it'll be inside the text, and the blue indicates that it will be outside the text. So like, as you can see here, the blue is on the outside because that's the outer text, and you can see a little chunk of the yellow there. That's because part of the inside is showing. So as you would see, when I break it up, you're gonna notice that there's not as much lava there's not enough lava as there is of this grungy material I'm gonna put on the blue. So I'm just gonna do this, put latem on this, so then they blend well, because it's always good to have for the outer text to have the same material as you have for the original text. Don't ask me why, it's a good effect, it blends well, it's just overall a good thing to do. So once I have seamless and cubic on all of these, I'm just going to edit this lava here because I don't want this much displacement. So I'm just going to turn displacement actually off, so it doesn't take as long to render, and so it doesn't pop out as much. So also I'm going to change the inner strength to about like 70 and the outer strength to 100, which will add more glow into it, which is a good thing later on for when we're adding color correction and editing lighting, or editing lighting. So there we go. It's good material. And I'm just gonna, fun little fact here, if you already put materials in, you don't have to delete them and put the new one in. You can, these update, like let's say for example this one, this will update. Like if I change this down here, it'll update for all of these, so you won't have to delete these and put this one here again, which is cool. So now I'm gonna break these up. So just go to MoGraph, go fracture, open up these by clicking these pluses, and just go to the very bottom, select the piece 154, go to the very top, hold shift, and then select piece 0, so it selects all these pieces, and just drag this into the fracture. Now some people make this mistake, is they don't actually drag it into the fracture because they do this, which this arrow pointing to the left means that it's not going in but it's going above. Some people think that means that it is actually going in the fracture, but to tell if it's going in the fracture, the arrow must be pointing down, so like that. So if I minimize this, I can delete this. So, and then if I open this up, you'll see all the pieces that I put into that fracture. So I'm just going to do the same for all these other letters. Depending on how many letters you have or paths for your logo, this that depends how many pieces or like parts there is of pieces. Like for example, like the letters. So if you do have higher pieces, the laggier your computer is going to be and the longer it is going to take to render. So just be warned of that. So now that I have everything in a fracture, just click this fracture right here so it's yellow, and then go MoGraph, Effector, and then Random. And as you can see, it's going to be all broken up and all like that, which it can look good. It depends how you use it, but we obviously want to turn the strength down to like maybe 13, but I'm actually going to deselect this original thing here. All you got to do to deselect is just check this mark so it becomes an X, which deselects it. And then I'm gonna edit this a little bit, so I'm just gonna kind of make it bigger. That's what she said. And I'm actually gonna check these again. I'm gonna mess with this fracture, and I'm actually gonna bring it up a little bit, then towards the front, so like this. I'm actually gonna see what this looks like. Let me do a small piece of the pre-render. This will pre-rendering is like it fully renders it, but it won't save it, so you can see what it looks like, HD and finished and everything. It's very helpful. The materials are actually going to look a lot more HD, detailed, all that than what it is now, because if it looked like this, your computer would lag all the time while you're editing it, which it can be pretty stressful if you're lagging while making graphics. So we're just gonna let this render to see what it looks like, see if it looks good, if I should mess with any of it. So I think I actually might turn it down a little because it seems really big. Yeah, I'm actually gonna do that. I'm gonna turn down the fracture or the randomness down a little, so it's like this. I'm probably gonna select something like this area, click OK. This can take a sec with displacement, which makes it more 3D. It pops out a little bit more, and I'm just gonna let this render, see what it looks like. Like I said, this tutorial will have things that may seem boring, but it's pretty much a must-do to see what your render looks like. So it's only the reason why I'm having this red lava effect is it's good for color. Like for banners, depending on your style, I like to have a little bit of color, not too much color, but like a grungy, dark kind of banner. That's just how I am. But I also like to have a little bit of color too. This is actually it's looking pretty nice. Let's see here. It's hard to tell actually, like the way it's broken up. We'll see. We'll let it keep rendering out just to see what it looks like, how it looks, if the letters look like the actual letters and not just broken up random pieces, which it shouldn't. It's looking good. It's looking good. I can tell. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this. The reason, also, if you notice, look at the Z over here. It's not so straight. That's because it's displacement. It makes it more 3D, pops out more. It makes it look like a rock, sort of, which is pretty good. Well, it depends, I guess. So I like that kind of look, so I'm gonna keep it. And the next part, what I like to do is also, I forgot to mention, if you're wondering why I made these letters like facing upward, is because when I add a light in the banner, it's gonna look like it's like coming onto the letters, like it's like the light is like shading off the letters, which is a really cool look. It looks really good, like they're blending, like the renders blending really well into the banner. Never make your text face downward, because it's really hard to make your banner blend well, and lighting is a little bit more challenging to deal with if you're making your render face downward. So I like to make it face upward because it's easier to do and it looks really good. So the next part I like to do is add add-ons. Now this can vary. I usually like to add chains into mine. So if you go into last week's Friday giveaway, I included this pack, which is the add-ons pack right here, all you got to do is select this chain by going File, Open, or File, Merge, and then select this chain. And this chain is going to pop up here. So I'm just going to select the torus and spline. And if you click this tool right here, it shrinks. So I'm just going to shrink it down so it fits the actual text. So also, as you can see, it's facing that way. So I'm just going to rotate it by using this tool, this circular arrow tool. And I'm just going to rotate the green axis, which makes it rotate. And I'm just going to fit it into the render to make a cool look, like where the chain's noticeable, but it's not standing out too much. So like about right there. And then I'm going to duplicate this again. And then I'm just going to do the same thing over here. Just going to add some chains into it. And now I'm going to duplicate all 4 of these into another area for the chain to be. Maybe even rotate it a little, so maybe upward, so this, to make it more kind of randomized. Actually, I'm going to do it the other way, so like this. And I'm going to push it up. Actually, I'm going to keep it like that, and then I'm going to select this torus right here. I'm going to rotate this one to go upward. Well, not upward, but like more randomized, I guess. So maybe like right here. Go with this torus, and I'm just going to kind of randomize it even more, so like this. Actually, no, I don't like the way that one looks. I'm gonna actually, looks too similar to the other one, so I'm just gonna do this. So there's some nice chains. I like that kind of chainy look, and I'm gonna add some materials to it. For chains, I usually like to use the this material here. And I'm just going to put this over the torus, which changes all the chains to the color you want it to set to, like this. So select, if you use the chain, use that for the, like, how many ever chains you use for the torus. Cubic seamless for all these. I always use cubic seamless for pretty much every material I use, unless it's just a color. So there we go. We have a nice chain look to it, but that's not all I'm going to add. Let's think here. I might add here, I'll show you. This is another plugin, so I'm going to duplicate this original mode text that we kept before. And I'm just going to duplicate that, and then I'm going to go into plugins, and I'm going to get 4 Reaper X's. This is a free plugin, and Reaper X is a nice looking material or plugin you can get. I'll show you a couple things you can do with it. Now, it can be confusing at first, so all you got to do is open up the mode text you duplicated or the logo, and then open up these as well, these green boxes, and if you're going to see these blue looking things in there. So if you select the top one, hold control, select the next one, that will individually select these, and then just drag these on the top. So then basically you just took those out of that, and then you just gotta drag these and put these in the Reaper X like that. As you can see, it's starting to make like a rope type look, which you can use ropes. You could do a lot of cool things with this, but I'm going to show you a couple other things you can do. So if you select all these by selecting top, holding or shift, and selecting the bottom one, select the radius to 1, because that'll make the lines really, really small. And then I'm just going to change the distance to about a little higher, so like maybe like 8 actually. 8, and I'm going to change the strands or coils to 150. Now, actually no, I'm actually going to make that a lot smaller, maybe like 20. So there. Well, yeah. Well, let me think here. I'm trying to think if I'd like that. I don't know if I'd like that, the way that looks. I make the coils a little higher, so like not that high, like maybe right there. Change the distance like about right there, and And then strands, I'm gonna turn this to 1. So that kind of makes like a nice randomized look to it. For these, I'm gonna use the lava. This will add more lava looks to it. And also, if you don't want something to be a material, like for example, let's say I wanted this red lava to be green, don't edit it in Cinema 4D to make it green. You can do that in Photoshop. Like if you really like the material but you don't like the color, edit it in Photoshop with the color correction, because a lot of people mistake materials by just like using it for its color. Use it because it looks nice, because you can change it in Photoshop to like any color you want pretty much. So now that we have this nice look, I'm gonna duplicate this again, and I'm actually gonna pull this one down a little, and I'm gonna make the strands to 1. Sorry, 1, and I'm gonna change the radius to about 1, distance kind of randomized. Actually no, I'm actually not gonna do that. Doesn't look that good. So it varies. So while I have that, I'm trying to think here. What else could I add? I might add a atom array. Let's see if this will look good. So I'm just gonna duplicate this mode text again, open this up, and then get 4 atom arrays, because that's 4 letters. So 4. Here we go. I'm just gonna drag this Z into that, this. So then, this atom array is good for outlines. So like if you want a color outline, you use atom array. So I'm just gonna select all these, and I'm gonna change the cylinder radius to 1 and the sphere radius to 1, and I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna make single elements checked. And then with this, hold on, it's gotta load all the things, the single elements, which I'll show you in a second. I'm actually gonna just make it bigger by selecting this tool. Actually, hold on a second, I actually might deselect the single elements. So I'm gonna select all these, make it bigger, so like about right there. I'm gonna push it to the left so it fits. Like this. Actually, might make it a little bit smaller so it fits a little better. So it's not so not randomized, but like not matching or not looking good. So I think I like that. I'm actually gonna make it this material. So I'm just gonna drag this onto the atom array. Let's see if it'll be that noticeable. If not, then I just won't use it, and then I think I'm gonna use it, add a nice little effect to it. Cubic seamless to all of these, so it's textured and it looks good. And then I think that'll be pretty much it. The next tutorial will be on Photoshop stuff, teaching how to make the render look good, all sorts of cool little things like that. So that pretty much wraps it up. If you enjoyed the tutorial, be sure to leave a like and comment. And also, I joined a team called Doom. You might have heard of them, you might have not. Shout out to them, arts team. So hope you enjoyed the tutorial, guys. Bye.